We don't have news yet about the incoming trip because from the video you saw before, we cancel this trip to go to Italy.
Yeah.
But we're waiting the answer between the two doctors because they need to talk each other. And then from that day, we need to rebook a new flight, and then we hope it is soon que later.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Reading in your message, I see a lot of people asking about what is your next option in case this everything is gonna fail. Well, first of all, our plan it is this. So now we have 2 embryos in Italy. We're gonna try, see if this gonna go well. Then if the second gonna go well, if that option gonna fail, we try to do another egg retrieval and then restart do the process. People said, okay, what happens if this is gonna grow and grow and grow and then this is never gonna happen? So a lot of people will suggest surrogacy.
Right.
Okay, so what do you think about surrogacy, Amore?
Well, I thought it was an interesting option until I looked up how much it costs. And then I was quickly like, ooh.
So we're talking about average 100K, right?
Right. Like I think even in other countries, the most affordable option was 50,000.
Yeah.
And that's like, you've got to think about, not only are you paying the surrogate and usually the agency that facilitates it,
well,
but we're also...
Explain what is a surrogacy first.
Okay, well, a surrogate is somebody who would take our embryo, have it implanted in their uterus, and they would be pregnant and carry the baby to term, and then the baby is still biologically our child, DNA-wise, but once they have the baby comes back to us. A lot of people use a surrogate for many reasons. Sometimes when they can't carry their own embryo, women who don't have uteruses, they can't become pregnant. Some people just choose to do it because they don't want to be pregnant. Like there's so many different reasons to use a surrogate. However, you pay for the surrogate. You pay usually an agency to facilitate matching you with somebody. And then you have to pay for all of their medical care throughout the whole pregnancy, the delivery, all these things. And you also have to pay a surrogacy lawyer because there's a lot of legal things about that. Like you don't want someone to try and claim this baby as their own. There's just so many nuances that you don't really think about unless you really dive into the details. It gets quickly very expensive. Like I saw here in the US, it's like $100,000 minimum and can sometimes go up to $200,000. And I'm sorry, that's just not possible. Like,
so what you were saying, okay, I don't know that. So this, you need to go apply for in an agency, somebody.
If you don't have, like, some people find surrogates on their own. Like sometimes family members will be a surrogate for somebody. But if you're using like some person that you don't have a relationship with, there are agencies, like, you know how like they can find the people who want to be surrogates and match them with the couples.
Yeah, okay.
You pay the agency, you pay that person, you pay all the medical fees, you pay lawyer, the legal fees to make sure everything's smooth with the transition. It's a very complicated process.
Yes.
It would take a lot to just even get into it, not to mention the price is just, it's just not possible, guys. Because not only is it that, it's like $100,000 for that try.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
If that embryo doesn't stick or the surrogate unfortunately miscarries or something happens, you know, it's not like a just easy thing like let me call up a surrogate and try. We looked into that a little bit just as like an option even before, like I looked into it just as a what if scenario.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, number one, like don't think we could afford that.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, I don't know if who listen to us, and then if you have a surrogacy, if you want to tell us under the comments your story. So maybe, because sometimes we researching stuff, but internet say one thing,
right,
but
there can always be other options.
So
different experiences.
If you have a different experience or what you your process, everything, if you want to share with everybody, just comment below so everybody can have a better idea. Because when we're just searching in the internet, we don't know. Then who knows, maybe this option cheaper or other option, we don't know.
The other thing to mention is that surrogacy is illegal in Italy.
It's illegal.
Yeah. So in Italy, they don't allow it. And I think right now they're even trying to pass laws that will prosecute Italians that try and leave Italy to do surrogacy somewhere else. So I don't even know, because our embryos are in Italy, like what that all would entail. Like again, we haven't gone in depth with all that.
Well, you can always move the embryos because our company is in Italian, but it's Spanish. You
I know, but that's the thing. Like they're saying to Italians, they don't want them to move the embryos.
So now maybe you ask.
There's like layers of complications.
Yeah. And now you asking. So what do you think about this, Alessio? Okay, the Italians are gonna do. We have the church there. The Vatican, it is closed, so the law, even for the IVF, straight until a couple years ago, when they start leaving to do the IVF with a lot of rules too. Like you need to, when you do the embryos, example, you need to finish the embryos. You cannot...
Before you make more.
Embryos, yes. Because if you have one embryo, you cannot do more embryos for C before coming endometriosis. You know, you need to use the embryo and then do thing. So it's a lot of rules in Italy about the IVF.
But again, like when we were weighing our options, for us, like our team over there is so fantastic. The clinic that we are, like Alessio said, is a Spanish clinic with this satellite in Italy. So they have so much knowledge and technology and research. We were really impressed with them. We felt like a connection with them. They care about us. We don't feel like just a number there. And then too, like the pricing is so much better there. So there's a lot of things that we weighed back and forth with pros and cons.
The cons, it is the trip. That's it. Because a lot of people in the comments will say, oh, why you choose Italy? Because it was in this process right now, in what we are right now, it was much better to be in US because they drain your cyst and then you do it. Yeah. It's easy. First of all, we never think about
it's not the plan for a cyst to just pop up like that.
Because the cyst pop up like random like that, no was our plan at all. Like we know what's not happening even before. So it is just a new thing that is coming up. You never think about
That's the other thing. Like everybody was like, oh, if Jessi has all these problems, why not use a surrogate? Well, again, the plan was in place that I wasn't supposed to have these issues. Like they said, okay, you look great. Let's go in, remove the fallopian tube. Because remember, I had a blocked fallopian tube that was full of like blood. So that needed to be removed so it didn't wash back into my uterus. Yeah. Other than that, everything looked great. Like my uterus looked good. My endometrium looks good. So nobody thought that there would be any additional issues. Yeah. But then life steps in. And surprises pop up.
And more challenges. So this is what we're thinking about surrogacy. It is an option in future. We don't know. One thing we said, it is if somebody has died early, if we have the 2 embryos, we was try to do surrogacy in that like if circumstance.
Something happened and I died, I said I died. Well, I wouldn't need a surrogate because we have the embryos. You're the one that would need a surrogate.
yeah. I need a surrogate.
But that was
our option. Like, okay, you use the money from the insurance for that, right?
Yeah. You could go ahead and try to get the embryos here together.
The only option we will think about that, but other things, I don't know.
I just want to say one more thing too. Like, obviously it's frustrating to have these delays, but we're working on 5 years of trying to have a baby. I don't know if a lot of people understand that it's almost 5 years from when we first tried, like starting. So we're used to delays and waiting. Yeah. So it's frustrating, but again, it's not like...
You're never gonna use them.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people...
you used to, but not too much.
A lot of people in the comments were like, oh, well, people wait 4 years, 6 years, 10 years. Obviously, everybody has a different experience with infertility. But I want to say this, just because, like, if we end up waiting 10 years, I would never tell somebody who's only waited 1 year, like, oh, well, you don't really have anything to be sad about or complain about because I waited for 10 years. Everybody's feelings are valid. Yeah. I really do want to say that because a lot of people might read things and say, oh, well, do I not have a reason to feel sad because I've only waited 2 years and the Pazzinis are waiting 5 years? No, you are 100% valid to feel
sad.
How you want. Supporting environment.
Yeah, support environment, ragazzi.
Positivity, we're not losing hope.
No losing hope. It's normal to fall down like the stock market. Gonna go always up. Always up.
Do it for the plot.
Yeah.
The story's just getting better and better.
Okay, ragazzi. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and thumbs up.
And I hope we have more information soon.